Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2024 IFBB Pro League Pittsburg Pro. We have bikini, wellness, figure, and women's physique results, and this show was out of this world. The draw of the elite athletes at this show, holy smokes. So in terms of Olympia, last year's top three are already qualified, and then the winner of this show, because it's in the qualification period, it's an open competition, the winner's going to qualify for Olympia. Very high stakes at these shows. It's number one takes all, and it is so exciting to watch. So let's begin with Pro Women's Physique, a very small category here. Only 3 competitors. In first place, Natalie, second, Jolene, third, Samantha, and the score was very even for those 3 athletes. So here's Samantha in third place. Her conditioning is crazy good. Lots of lines, lots of detail. Her quads look fabulous. I love that she has lines going all the way from her knees to her suit straps. Looks so good. She's got really nice roundness in the inside of her thighs. Beautiful abs, great definition, nice detail coming through on her arms too. I think that's her strongest feature in these photos is that conditioning. So much detail. She looks super lean, really cut. I do think though that she needed more fullness and more size in the lats in particular to make the V taper more of an exaggerated V shape, more of that really wide, full, rounded upper body coming into that tiny waist that she already has, and more fullness and roundness into the legs. When you compare her next to the other 2 competitors, she doesn't have the size, she doesn't have that roundness and bubbly, full, big, huge muscle. But I'm super impressed by her conditioning. I think her suit looks really beautiful. I love that there's some of that green into her hair. Just great posing. Overall, she looks fabulous. Okay, here's Jolene in second place. So you can see what I mean. A little bit more substantial size, more of that curvy round shape into the legs, a lot more size on her quads in particular. Beautiful tiny midsection and great lats, so you really see that V taper shape. I think she's got beautiful conditioning as well. You're having lots of detail in her arms, her abs. That six-pack is super clear. Beautiful detail coming through on the quads. And I love that the quads, not only are they detailed and full of lines, but those grooves really almost etch out the quad muscles. They look really like they're coming forward and up and out of her body. Really beautifully outlined. I think it looks great. The suit is really nice. It's a beautiful color against her skin tone. It's very bright and eye-catching. I'm not crazy about the way she's got her leg here. I think she should have it more to the side so that she creates more of an X shape here. Right now, she's almost cutting off her leg by having it so far forward. I'm only seeing a little bit of this quad sweep rather than the sweep really catching my eye being on the full side. And it's just narrowing her lower body. So rather than an X, it's more of like a Y shape. So even though she has the X in her muscles, she's not posing to show it off quite so well. So that is really my only suggestion, is to extend this leg more to the side so that we have more width and length into the lower body. But I think she looks really great. I love that her hair is up. It gives you a really good view of her shoulders, and she looks awesome. All right, next in first place is Natalie. She's doing it all. She's got the size. Oh my gosh, her upper body in particular, these lats, holy, beautiful amount of size in her arms. The biceps are just so 3D, really great muscle density and size and fullness in the upper body. Beautiful narrow waistline with unreal definition into the abs, and great legs. Good size, good roundness, good definition, and I like this posing better. I think it's a little bit more of that X shape because the thigh and the lat are making your eye come outwards, so you really have that out to in to out. Beautiful. I do think she could have, honestly, if I'm being critical, a little bit more curve on the inside of the leg here. Maybe even by extending the foot a little further, that would help to show off those inner thigh muscles a bit more. But I think she looks so good. This suit is perfection. I love the detailing, how it pulls your eye from the midline out. I think the color is perfect. The black details with her dark hair, she looks great. And her tan is gorgeous. Beautiful color. I love all the shine, the gloss, the glaze. She just looks on fire. I think she did an amazing job. Okay, so everybody side by side, you can see Natalie really is standing out. She's got the X frame. She's posing really well to show it off. She's got size, mass, density, fullness, roundness, and definition. So she's got great detail all over, but a lot of size. I think you can see Samantha beside her just needs a little bit more of that substantialness, more of that muscle packed onto her frame, more curves. Jolene looks great as well, but doesn't quite have that same crazy size in the lats as Natalie. She just looks really impressive. And from behind, nobody has the density and that 3D quality in the back muscles. Just, you could grab each little part here in her back, big part in her back, a lot of size, and just so much curve and roundness into those muscles. The shoulders, the upper back, her glutes look super fabulous. So much detail coming down into the hamstrings. Great size. I think Jolene has tremendous size as well, but not quite as much detail coming into the back of her legs, and definitely not as much pop into her back muscles. Samantha, beautiful overall shape. Clearly very, very lean, but just needs more of the roundness. So we've got our Olympia qualified athletes, and there's Natalie added to the list. Okay, women's figure. In first place, Natalia. Second, Maria. Third, Erica. Fourth, Madison. And fifth, Maggie. And looking carefully, it was close between third and fourth. Only 1 point between them. Very exciting. So here's Maggie in fifth place. Oh my gosh. As always, she looks unreal. I just love how round and curvy she is. Her quads have such a gorgeous rounded shape. That sweep is so eye-catching. Comes beautifully to her very tiny waist. Her suit fits perfectly. It's super high. So it just looks like her waist is just absolutely minuscule. And then it goes directly into these crazy big lats and absolutely gorgeous shoulders. Her silhouette to me is perfection. She poses beautifully, great makeup, beautiful poise, great smile. Everything about her is gorgeous. But I do think compared to the other girls, she could have had a little bit more conditioning, a little bit sharper in the lines. I think the six-pack could have been easier to see, a little bit more deepness into the grooves in her legs. I think the arms could have been a bit more like just really cut looking. And that's, like I said, compared to the other girls. When I look at her photo, I think she looks absolutely stunning. But you'll see when we get to our next competitor, the conditioning is kind of next level. So that's my only suggestion. I think she looked amazing. Okay, Madison in fourth. There is exactly what I'm talking about with those crazy lines coming through in the legs. Absolutely show-stopping, beautiful detail. Every single part of the quad is completely outlined. Just the line coming all the way up her hip. It's so cool. It looks amazing. It's eye-catching. I can only imagine how her legs looked while she was walking. It must have been just unreal. She's got a super tiny waist, really nice lats, so you notice that gorgeous V-taper. The suit fits perfectly, and the colors are beautiful. I love that it's light and it gets darker on the outside. It really draws your attention to the middle of her body. Beautiful. Her tan looks really lovely. It's a great dark color. Maybe there could have been a little bit more evenness though in the tan. Like I think her midsection is slightly lighter, a little bit lighter here, although that could just be the way the light is catching the glaze on her body in this photo. I do think compared to the others, she could have a little bit more curve. Like don't get me wrong, I love her legs, but I feel that there's a lot of straightness coming through in the quad sweep, whereas what we saw with even our last competitor, a little bit more roundness. I think that would be lovely. Maybe even turning the toes out would help to just have a bit more curve. I think that would be a nice balance with her lats because she has very beautiful curvy lats. And then for her shoulders, I think she's got nice size, but I wouldn't mind if they were a little more round as well. This shoulder almost slants very abruptly here. I find this one's a little bit more of a softer curve. So I wouldn't mind a bit more height, a bit more roundness into the shoulders, but overall, I think she's really amazing and that conditioning looks stunning. Next and third is Erica. Gorgeous. Okay, so tan looks perfect, uniform color all the way, really nice and dark. You're getting a lot of detail coming through. And her legs in particular, I think, look really good. So she's got that great conditioning, but she also has good curves. So I'm noticing the roundness in the quad sweep and just roundness on the inside of her legs as well. So the shape in her lower body, I think, is perfect. Beautiful, round, full, curvy, gorgeous legs. Really nice midsection. I do feel like the suit could come up a little higher on this side. I do like how thin the straps are. I love the color. I think her lats look really good, really full and round, nice. It's just a nice proportion with the lat to the waist, but I do think she needs more shoulder. I think the delts could be higher and rounder. There's almost just a slanted line here rather than being that big kind of boulder shoulder shape with the really high and round. It's more of a straightness. Whether that's a posing thing or actual size, I don't know, but I would just love to see more curve that comes into the lat. And then I think your eye would go around her silhouette even more. But I think she does look really good. The suit color is beautiful, matches her eyes just it's enchanting. So I think she looked really beautiful. All right, next and second is Maria. Holy smokes, upper body caught my attention. The delts and the lats. She looks extremely wide and very, very full. Massive upper body, and the shape is really good. Like, you cannot deny that there is a V shape to her upper body. Really nice flat midsection, good oblique details. I wouldn't mind if there was a little bit more like six-pack showing, but I think the flatness and smoothness to her stomach looks really good. She's got great detail in her legs. She obviously has a lot of size in those quads. But to me, the legs are being outshone by the upper body. I definitely notice the lats and the delts before I notice the legs. So I think she could try to have a bit more size on the legs to match the delts a little bit more, just so that there's a tiny bit more of the balance between lower and upper. But I think the pink suit is really pretty. It's very feminine. She's got a lot of pink in her makeup, the lips. Her posing looks really nice. Her shoulders look so good. She's got amazing calves as well. A lot of size. Just to me, I'd love to see a bit more balance in the proportions between upper and lower. Even though I think her lower body is amazing. Great size, great conditioning. It just doesn't have as much of that perfect balanced flow with the upper body. But man, I'm being so nitpicky here because these girls are unreal. Okay, here's Natalia in first. She's got it all. She's got definition like crazy, lines in the quads, in the abs, the six-pack, her delts, everything. The definition is unreal. She's got curves, so she's got the quad sweep. She's got the round lats. Her delts are perfectly curved and round. There's no lines. There's no slopes. There's no slants. Everything is just full and round and bubbly and curvy everywhere you look. She also has really good balance. So to me, I'm not looking first at the legs or first at the lats or first at the shoulders. I'm just flowing over her whole physique. There's great balance from the up to the bottom, from the left to the right. She looks symmetrical. She looks balanced. She looks perfectly poised. Her posing is fabulous. So you've got the curves in the quads, the tiny waist, the lats, the V-taper, the X-frame, like just she's doing everything completely right. Her suit fits perfectly. I love how high the straps come by the belly button, but I also really love how low the front goes. Like, I think that elongates her midsection, so her abs just seem to go forever. Her waist is so small, and it's almost like it's drawing an arrow and pointing you to her legs. I am so enchanted by these legs, the definition, the fullness and the roundness. She looks amazing. Her tan is perfect. Her hair is really light. Her makeup is light, like bright, I mean, very, it opens up her face. You see her eyes, you see her beautiful smile, but then you see those shoulders. I just think she really nailed it. All right, so the side-by-side, I noticed Natalia's waistline. I think her midsection is extremely small. You know, you see Maria beside her doesn't quite have that narrowness in the waist like Natalia does. I notice the detail in the legs on Madison. I think her conditioning looks crazy good, but she doesn't quite have the shoulders like Maria beside her. I notice Erica's beautiful curve to her quads, but she also doesn't quite have the shoulders like Natalia. And then on Maggie, it's just curves everywhere, the quads, the beautiful lats, but I don't get the detail as well in her conditioning. You know, the shoulders aren't as outlined, for example, as Natalia's are. To me, Natalia has the perfect overall silhouette. Her posing is great, and she just looks amazing. And from behind, I think Natalia takes this easily here. Her glutes are so round and wide. Compared to Maria, Maria has more of a straightness here in the sides. Natalia is just round and curvy. Looks amazing. Her legs look extremely full. Erica, I think her legs look awesome as well. Maggie, the quad sweep is awesome. But Natalia, you get so much detail coming through into the back of her adductors, down the hamstring. She's got great fullness into the back, and just that narrow waist really makes you see the V. I don't think anybody is really comparing with the glutes and that V shape that she gets from such a tiny waist next to those really wide glutes. So a fabulous win for Natalia. And of course, in terms of Olympia, there she is, qualified. Okay, moving on to women's wellness. In first place, Elisa. Second, Giselle. Third, Marissa. Fourth, Jasmine. And fifth, Riley. And the scores here were very even. Amongst our top five, it was pretty close between fifth and sixth, but we got our top five nice and clear. So, very exciting. So here's Riley in fifth place. She looks awesome, beautiful skin. I love the color of her tan, really shows off her details beautifully. She's got really nice fullness and roundness into the quad sweep, beautiful groove under her glute here, nice line coming down the quad. Her leg, this front leg looks amazing and really nice shape to the glute. She's got a nice small waist. I do think she could work on just having a little bit more of the flatness into the stomach, but I think her waistline looks nice and small and really beautiful width coming into the upper body. Nice roundness into the shoulders, good size in her arms. Just overall, a really pleasant, beautiful physique. I'm not crazy though about the posing here. I'm not sure how she could fix it, perhaps being more on the toe or just bringing the foot a little more forward. But to me, this whole back leg is hidden by her amazing quad sweep. I want to see more of the quad sweep of the back leg. I want to see more of the hamstring, just more of the back leg in general. So whether that's just playing around with the placement of the foot or just how high she's coming up off of the floor with her heel, we'll see it when we get to some of the other athletes. I think you'll see what I mean a little more. I like that she's in a very sideways profile. I think it gives you a really good look at her, the silhouette of her front leg, but I want to see more of the back leg. I also feel like she could probably raise this hand a little bit higher just to make the elbow come out and have your eye see a bit more of the width on the top, so she gets a bit more of that triangular shape coming in from the wideness of the shoulders into the narrowness of the waistline. It doesn't have to be that hourglass physique, but just a little bit more drawn up, I think would be good. Okay, here's Jasmine in fourth place. Perfection in the posing. This is exactly what I meant when I was talking about allowing that back leg to be seen. So even though she's very much in a profile shot of the front leg, it's quite sideways, you see a really good outline of the glute and the hamstring, you're still seeing a lot of the back leg. So I see her sweep. I see that full bubbly round shape into the hem. You see the detail up into the quads. I love it. I think her posing looks fabulous. I think also her waistline looks so impressive here. Really nice, flat and smooth in the front, beautiful oblique, and the way she's posing, it's like her lats connect to her glutes. There is no waist. It's just unreal. Very tiny little waist right here, and the curves are outstanding. She is so muscular. She's got so much size, not only in the lower body, but the upper body too. And I just love looking at her physique. I love the definition. I love how outlined her delts are, the quads, the detail by her kneecap. She's just a specimen. It's so cool. She could be a poster. I think her muscles look great, the fullness, the roundness, the detail, the posing, and I love this suit. I love that it's black, but it's got those kind of golden shimmery colors that draw your eye to her hair, and then you see her beautiful makeup and her smile. Her skin looks glowy. It's glossy in all the right places. I love this. This is such a great look for her. I have zero critical things to say. I think she looks really amazing. Okay, next and third is Marissa. Unbelievable. She's so beautiful. I know I follow her on Instagram, and I know she had a particularly difficult week with school and exams, and so she's just amazing. She looked incredible. Her suit is a perfect color, I have to admit. Beautiful turquoise. Her hair looks gorgeous. I love the highlight, and I also love this bit of curl. It just draws your eye to her face, her smile. Beautiful round shoulders, great size in her lats. Her waistline looked amazing at this show. Really flat stomach, great abs, beautiful obliques, nice narrow waist overall. I like that you notice that triangular shape into her upper body, just that a lot of meatiness into the lat and the shoulders, and then that tiny waist. So it looks really good. Beautiful lower body, of course. Great size in the glute. Good size into the legs as well. Great quad sweep. Gorgeous hamstrings. You're seeing a nice amount of size and just a nice amount of that back leg. It's not being hidden or obstructed by her quad sweep of the front leg. The posing looks fabulous. The upper body posing, one thing I would suggest is just to make sure that this shoulder is level with this shoulder. To me, this arm is almost pulling her down ever so slightly, so there's a little bit of a slant, and I think that takes away from the impressiveness of the upper body. So if she could just bring this shoulder up a little, pull up the chest, open up the clavicle, like really pull upwards here, I think that would help to elongate her body and really pull out the overall silhouette and that S curve into her back. I think she looks gorgeous, great conditioning. It's not crazy detail. You know, you're not seeing as many lines as maybe we saw in our last competitor, but there's a softness in all the right places and detail coming through in all the right places. I particularly love her midsection. So I think she did a great job. She looks stunning. She's amazing. Okay, next and second is Giselle. Holy smokes. The shape of her glute is unreal. She's got so much curve, but also the hamstring is curvy. And I love right in here how dipped in her silhouette comes, right? It's just outwards. Oh, I love this right there. Beautiful. Really great shape, really great size. The glute size compared to the leg is awesome. And then I really also like the balance with the lats. I think she's got really good muscular upper body. Really good delts as well. Just overall very balanced, and her posing is perfect. So she's really pulled up. Her chest is open. The shoulders look beautifully highlighted here, and just your eye flows over her back and over the silhouette of her whole body. I think her makeup looks beautiful. I love the bright lip. The suit is gorgeous, extremely eye-catching. I saw a video on Instagram of Giselle, and just the sparkle, the glitter, she looks really great. Maybe there could have been a little bit more detail coming through in the conditioning. Like I've already mentioned, I love this groove here, but I think the line down her quad could have been a bit sharper, and maybe a little bit more detail coming through in the back leg. But that's about it. Like I think she looks really good. The glute shape in particular catches my eye, and I just think overall she's got a gorgeous flow to the physique. And now here's Elisa in first place. Wow, she looks awesome. So she's got really muscular upper body. I see traps. I see the delts, the outlining of the delts. A lot of size in her arms. Like check out her biceps. Very muscular, tiny midsection, and insane size in the glutes. So really big and gorgeously large hamstrings and quads. Posing beautifully. We see the back leg. We see the sweep up on that quad. Great definition as well. The groove is really prominent and evident in this front leg here. Nice detail into her hip. Her midsection has lots of detail. I think her hand is in the perfect spot here. It brings up the elbow. It pops this back shoulder. Just gorgeous. I love that her hair is off her shoulders, so you see the upper body. She's got beautiful red lipstick coordinated with the suit. Like just top to bottom, she looks amazing. In this photo, the tan on her shoulders looks a slightly different shade than the tan on her legs. It could just be the way that the photo is capturing the light, but if not, I would definitely want to make sure that the tan is even all the way. And I have to say, I'm not crazy about the platform on the shoe. For some reason, it just catches my eye too much. I'm noticing her shoes when I don't want to even think about shoes. So that is my only thing. Maybe have a little bit more delicate platform, and that's it. I think she's stunning. Okay, so here are the ladies side by side. I noticed Marissa's waistline, so tiny. And here she's posing really evenly with the shoulders. And I just think it really creates a gorgeous shape. Beautiful silhouette to the back of her body. Unbelievable. Elisa, I'm loving the sweep of her quad. Really round and really full. Like Giselle has big legs, Marissa has big legs, but Elisa has huge legs, and the outlining just highlights the shape and size of that quad. Giselle, I think her tan could have been a little darker when you have her in between these two. I think she's more of that orange shade when I'd want to see more of a brown mahogany like what we see on Marissa or Riley. But beautiful shape into her glute. Jasmine, stunning conditioning, absolutely beautiful details coming through. In this photo, to me, she looks a little bit like she's leaning forward. I'd love to see her more upright, like we see the ladies on either side of her. But love the conditioning. And Riley, beautiful, great skin tone, great color. I think her upper body looks really nice. In this lineup, she looks almost small in her leg size, compared to some of these other ladies. But Elisa, to me, she is dwarfing everyone in those quads. I think everyone in this lineup looks really impressive. Great glutes, beautiful tiny midsections, just amazing. And then from behind, wow. So Elisa, her conditioning is really good here. Giselle has great size. You can see she's got a lot of mass into the legs, as does Jasmine. But you look at the outlining of Elisa's glutes and into the glute ham tie-in, Giselle doesn't have the same sharpness or fullness into the leg. Like it's like her glutes are popping through the skin and even down into the hamstrings. Really fabulous conditioning and great overall curvy shapes into the legs. I think Marissa beside her has some fabulous width into the glutes. Her waistline doesn't look as tiny and narrow compared to Elisa beside her. Maybe even just a little bit more hair fullness would help to create the illusion of a narrower waist in the back. I think Elisa and Jasmine could have had a tiny bit less hair, honestly. I like how Giselle and Riley, it's floating just a little bit more above the glute and allows you to see the waistline a little bit more. But man, what a fabulous top 5. All right, and in terms of Olympia, Elisa was already qualified. Moving on to bikini. All right, here we go. In first place, Amy. Second, Ashley. Third, Vanya. Fourth, Maria. And fifth, Tara. And you guys, this scorecard was pretty exciting. 1 point difference between first and second. Amy with 4 points, Ashley with 5. And 1 point difference between fourth place Maria and fifth place Tara. So a super close battle. It was a huge lineup, a lot of big names, a lot of recognizable names. This top 5 was crazy. Okay, so here's Tara in fifth. She's so beautiful. I love in particular her back pose. I think she's got a really great hourglass shape. The proportions of her the width of her shoulders to the narrowness of her waist to the width of her glutes is so good. Her back pose is amazing. This front pose to me is not as show-stopping as the back pose. I feel like she could have had a little bit more conditioning to flatten the midsection, maybe a bit more detail coming through into the abs. The oblique could have been a bit more chiseled out. Like, I'm missing some of those lines that I want to see. I think she's got beautiful size and shape in the quads, nice size in the glutes. Her muscle size and overall silhouette is gorgeous. But in this photo, I wanted to see a little bit more detail. And I also think the tan was not dark enough. More of that deep brown shade, but also more of the gloss to showcase the oblique and the tip of the delts and a little bit more. The lower body, I think the gloss is really beautiful, but I just feel like it's not quite popping. I want to see just that bright, shiny, sparkly, glittery, can't take your eyes off of her kind of a physique that we've seen before. But I love the pink suit and the pink lip. She's standing out for being in pink in a sea of red in this top 5, and she does look really beautiful, but I think darker tan and more conditioning. Okay, next and fourth is Maria. Oh, she looks so good. She's got really round, curvy legs with beautiful glutes. I love the shape. Great proportions between the size of her glutes and the size of her legs. And I love the proportions with lower to upper. I think she's got really nice lats and great arms. So the S curve that she has is stunning. Her conditioning looks really good too. The line coming down the quad, the detail by her kneecap, a little bit of detail in the back leg. The oblique is really clear and visible. The delts are perfectly outlined. Like, she nailed it. She's soft and round in the overall shape, but nice details coming in where we need it. The obliques, the kneecap, the delts, gorgeous. The red suit looks great with her skin, the dark hair, but I would have done more of a red shade into the lip rather than more of that pinky mauve. That's my only suggestion. Slightly different lip. I think her posing looks great. She just looks stunning. This is an amazing fourth place for her. She's really solidified her place in the top. Okay, next in third is Vanya. Unreal. The red suit looks so good. It is like, it's like jewelry. Her suit is such a great color. I love that the red lip matches it so perfectly. Just ruby, that's the word I'm looking for. It's like she's got rubies all over her body with this beautiful red suit. I love it. I think it's so complimentary to her skin tone. Her conditioning is outstanding. I love the lines down her quads. I love the detail in the back leg. I love how popping her calf muscle is. I think her abs look amazing. She's got a really flat midsection and very, very tiny waistline. Beautiful lats, great detail coming through in her arms. Like, just overall, her conditioning is gorgeous. Really outlines and details those muscles. The shapes look beautiful. I do think she could have a little bit more shoulder, honestly. A little bit more roundness coming to the sides here so that the curve of the delt mimics more the curve of her glute. But that is really my only thing to suggest. I think she looks really good, great posing. I'm noticing that S curve, that hourglass shape. Like I said, I can't get over the color of her suit with the dark hair and the lips. She's just gorgeously eye-catching. But a little more delt to me to just have a more of a flow with the upper body to the glute, and I think she would be unstoppable. Okay, next in second place is Ashley. She looks amazing. I love her delts. I think her shoulders look beautiful, really large, round, just the fullness and the width. Her upper body looks awesome. Great lats, and her midsection, as always, she looks really tight. She looks really firm. She looks super detailed. The six-pack, the obliques, amazing. It's so eye-catching to see and look at her midsection in particular. The muscles and the detail really are something that I'm drawn to. I think her legs look beautiful. I love the line coming down her front leg here. I think she's got a good sweep on the back leg, nice curve into the hamstrings. And as always, her glutes look really good. Nice shape, nice fullness. I love the dip she gets right here where the glute and the hamstring come together. Her posing is great. She's more angled towards the judges than some of the other girls. Often they're very sideways, but she doesn't need to do anything to make her waistline look smaller. We can see her waist is completely flat, and I love that we get to see the detail of the abs by the way that she's angled towards the judges. The only thing I can see that puts our first place winner ahead is in the glute shape. So I think compared to Ashley, even though Ashley has amazing glutes, our next place winner, which you'll see in the lineup, she's got a little bit more fullness up on the higher part of the glute than Ashley does. Ashley has a lot of size. She's got a great shape, but it's just a different shape than first place. So we'll see side by side. You can tell me in the comments what you think. I think that's what this show ultimately came down to, was glutes. Okay. Here's Amy in first. Do you see what I mean about the glute? It's a much different shape than what we see on Ashley. It's round, very full, but a lot of mass and height into the glute, as well as width. Amy just has a lot of size in the glutes in particular. She's got beautiful hamstrings, great quad sweep, nice detail coming through by the kneecap in particular. In the straightness in this line here, it looks fabulous. She's got a nice flat midsection, good detail in the abs. Not quite the same amount of detail like we see on Ashley, but still a beautiful amount of definition. Nice small waist, beautiful shoulders. To me, she's not as triangular in the shape like we saw on Ashley, so it's not as exaggerated of that hourglass, but the glutes really catch your eye for their size and their shape, and a lovely balance with the curve in the delt. So I think she looked great. Beautiful red suit, nice makeup, dark, gorgeous hair, as always. Let's just look at the lineup, because this top 5 was incredible. Okay, here's everyone side by side. Do you see what I mean about Amy's glute compared to Ashley? So I think Ashley does a really good job of showing her abs, opening up the shoulders, really allowing you to see that curve in her back. But when you look at Amy beside her, there's a lot more size in the glute itself. Everybody has really beautiful proportions. Maria, I noticed the definition coming into her glute, quad here, the line down her leg. Tara, her shoulders look fabulous, but you can see her tan could have been a lot darker. Ashley, her abs look amazing. Amy, I'm drawn to the glute. Vanya, I'm actually drawn to the curve in her back. The right in here, I think, looks so tremendous. Really beautiful. But let's look at the back pose. Okay, so Amy to me has a lot of height and width in the top part of her glute. So right up by the suit, I think you see a tremendous amount of size and fullness into Amy's glutes. I think Tara has that similar look where the fullness is very high. And Tara really impresses me with the small waist and the wide shoulders. I think Tara's back pose really shines and she stands out for sure. But Amy, to me, it's the size in the glutes, but the height in the width. Ashley has large glutes as well, really nice balance with the legs, the hamstring, the curve of the quads, but you don't have as much width in the top part of the glute, like from here to here as you see on Amy. It's just a different physique. It's a different height, different build. But Amy's glutes catch my eye, that's for sure. I think everyone had really good conditioning, beautiful amount of detail in the glute ham tie-ins without being too many lines down into the back of the legs. I think all of these girls nailed it. The hair, very dark brunette show, stunning. It's everybody's hair is shiny. Ashley's hair in particular, I love that it's straight. It's just a little bit different. Could have been honestly a tiny bit shorter if you ask me. I like Amy's hair here. I think the curve in the cut is really flattering. Overall, it was a gorgeous show. I do think it came down to the glutes, but everybody looks amazing. And so in terms of Olympia, of course, Amy was already qualified. So that's it for this show. There were a few other shows this weekend, so I will be back with recaps of those as soon as I can. Give me a like if you like this video, comment your thoughts below, and come find me. I'm on Instagram at turquoise toffee.